Hello, good morning students. Welcome back to our channel where we have our English class. My name is teacher Fernanda. I'm very happy and very grateful to be here with you today in another class. I hope you're fine, safe and sound at home. I hope your family is doing all right. And let's start with our class. As you can read, today we have science class and our topic is going to be what causes surface currents. So let's check it out. What are currents? A current is a large stream of moving water that flows through the oceans. Unlike waves, currents carry water from one place to another. Some currents move water at the surface of the ocean. Others move water deep in the ocean. This means that the difference between waves and currents is that waves move in the same area, in the same place. But currents move to from one place to another. As you can see here, it goes in a pathway, okay? It goes like this. We start here, we go down, we go down, we go down, we go down, and we finish here. And then we return here and here and here. We start again, and in the same place. Here and here. It's like a cycle. It begins in one place, and then it finishes in another place, and it begins again. So it is like a cycle, but they move from one place to another. They do not move in the same place as waves. They move from one place to another, not like waves. They move in the same place. Surface currents. Surface currents. Surface currents follow Earth's major wind patterns in the 5 major oceans. Most of the currents flow from east to west. Then they double back. Surface currents affect to a depth several hundred meters. They are driven mainly by winds. So the surface currents follow the Earth's major patterns. So when the wind, these are very large amounts of wind. They're not like like breezes. They're not breezes. They are very deep and strong amounts of wind. So these wind patterns, they move the water from one place to another place, and this is what causes the surface currents. For example, here we've got a map of these patterns, of wind-driven surface currents. For example, we've got this that goes down. It begins here, it can go up, it can go down, then it can go to this side, it can go to the other side, but they follow the same pattern. As I told you before, they follow a cycle. They fall into a cycle where they move from one place to another place. For example, here, it starts here, it goes down, it goes down, it goes down, it goes down, it starts again. Yes? It goes here, it goes here, it goes here, and then it starts again. Like a cycle. Then we meet the Coriolis effect. The Coriolis effect is the effect of the Earth's rotation in the direction of winds, and the currents is named the Coriolis effect. So this rotation from the Earth, it begins from west to east. It goes west to east. So this Coriolis effect is going to affect the direction of the winds, and this direction of the winds is going to affect the movement of the currents. The Coriolis effect is going to be like this. In the northern hemisphere, this effect will cause the currents to curve clockwise, while in the southern hemisphere, they're going to flow counterclockwise. So in the north, they're going to flow to the right. And in the southern hemisphere, they will flow to the left. So north is going to be right, and south is going to be left. Then we've got the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream is a very interesting thing to know, actually, because the Gulf Stream is the largest and most powerful current in the North Atlantic Ocean. So this current is very powerful, it's very strong, it carries plenty of water. So it is going to be caused by strong western winds. So these winds from the west, from western winds that come from this side, are going to move the water to this side. Okay, it is about 30 meters wide and 300 meters deep. It moves warm water from the Gulf of Mexico to the Caribbean Sea. So it starts in the Gulf of Mexico, in the coast in Mexico, it begins there, and then it goes down to the Caribbean Sea, and then it goes up. We're going to check that next in a map for you to get a better picture of what I'm talking about. So here, it's actually starting here, it goes here, it starts in the Gulf of Mexico, it goes here, here, and here. And as you can see, it goes to the way up, all the way up. It passes through these places, or for all the Atlantic Ocean here. It goes up. Then it goes down through the cold currents here. So the red line symbolizes a warm current, a current that is hot. And the blue line symbolizes a cold current, a current which is cold. So it starts as a warm current, as a hot one. Here in the Gulf of Mexico, it turns here, boom, here. It goes up, then it goes down through Iceland and Greenland, and it becomes a cool current. Why? Because here the temperatures are colder, and it means a cold current. It goes down to here. Let's check some details. The Gulf Stream brings warm water from the tropics to the North Atlantic Ocean. So here in Mexico, it carries warm water that it's going to carry to the north. Okay, it carries warm water to the north. Here it releases heat in the atmosphere, so here the air is going to be a little bit warmer. Okay, these weathers are usually cold, but these warm currents of water are going to bring a less cold weather. It's going to be a little bit warmer. It's going to be a mild temperature, Then it's going to go down through the south, through the cold currents, and it says that the water cools and it sinks to great depths and travels south. So remember that cold water is going to go down and hot water is going to be up. Okay, so the cold water is going to go to the south, yes, to the coldest zones, while the hot water is going to go to the north, all right, to the hot zones. Remember what I told you. The northern hemisphere ones are going to go to the right on the climate. So let's check how the Gulf Stream is going to affect on the climate. So let's start by telling you. I'm going to start by telling you what is climate. Climate is a pattern of temperature and precipitation in a determined place for a long period of time. So for example here, the red zones or the dark red zones are the hottest zones in the earth. Yes, on earth. So these red zones are hotter. Then the orange ones are a little bit less hot. They are more temperate temperatures. Then the yellow ones are a little bit colder, but not cold. They are mild. They are going to be mild. Then here in the green zones there and the blue zones, it's colder. So the blue zones are the colder zones, and the green zones are the ones that are very cold. The Gulf Stream has a warming effect on the nearby areas within the mid-Atlantic area of the US, having a moderate climate, mild winters and humid summers. So the Gulf Stream, it warms, like I told you, it warms the climate in the places where it reaches. When it goes from the Gulf of Mexico to the Caribbean Sea and north, it carries warm water. Then when it goes down, it carries the cold water from the places it reaches. So when it goes up, and then it warms a little bit, and then it becomes a little bit colder, but it regulates the climate of these areas. It becomes warmer. Climate is affected by how currents move cold and warm water around the globe, generally from the tropics to the poles and vice versa. So here we've got that the climate is going to be regulated by how currents move cold water and hot water. So if hot water goes up, then it's going to be a mild temperature, it's going to be a little bit hotter. But when cold water goes down, those places are going to be reached out with cold weather, because these currents tend to release this climate into the atmosphere that reaches. So for example, if a current reaches a cold one reaches a place, this climate is going to be colder. But if a hot current or a warm current reaches a place in the world, it's going to release hot or warm air. A surface current warms or cools the air above it, affecting the surroundings, as I told you previously. When it reaches some places, depending on if it's cold or warm, that place is going to be colder or warmer. Winds pick up moisture as they go through the warm water currents. Cold water currents tend to be in cool, dry weather to land. So I hope you've understand it. I hope you've understand the topic. Anyways, I'm going to leave you a link to a video of a channel. Its name is Cosigat, and it has plenty of videos, scientific videos explaining plenty of things. But this one is going to be about the Gulf Stream. In case that you didn't understand the video, in case that you need to clear some doubts, you can ask us. Of course, you are able to ask us, and we will be happy, of course, to help you. But I'm going to leave you this link for you to watch this video in case of you having any interest in watching the video, or if you have any questions that you want to clarify. So I'm going to leave it in the description down below. So I want to thank you for your attention. I hope you have an amazing and beautiful day, and we'll see you later. Thank you very much.